Hey guys, what's up? I'm Priyanka and welcome back to the Football Fanspire. So on today's show, it's obviously going to be a bit festive. As you can see, I already have my Santa hat on, and we're going to be talking about some very exciting matches that will be after we celebrate Christmas. That's on Boxing Day. We have a London Derby and a very exciting ISL match. So it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of football banter. So like the video, subscribe. Don't forget to share it with all of your friends. Because come on, we all love to talk about football, don't we? Football fans, we're going to enjoy Christmas and we have exciting matches to look forward to. This is going to be the last episode of the year, and we are so very grateful for all of you for accompanying us on this journey. We've had lots of fun, meeting the fans, talking to them, interacting with them, and it's been a great journey, and we can't wait for 2021 so we can make some new fans, make some new friends, talk to more fans, and see how it's going to go because we have a lot of exciting matches there as well. So, without further ado, let's get into the first segment of the show, and that is the match between Chennai and East Bengal. Yes, there you have it on your screen. On 26th December, the match is going to be played in Goa, and it is going to be quite interesting. So let's hear what our panelist has to say.
Hello, first of all, wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope you're all staying safe, staying home. That is very important. And this is going to be a very interesting game because I feel East Bengal, they are starting to get better and better. Obviously, they haven't won. They have been quite unfortunate on certain circumstances. I mean, you will have to think of some penalties that were not given against Northeast, I think, and then Lingdo came on, and that same game he got sent off. How ironic, because I like Lingdo. He's been a wonderful servant. He's been a wonderful player for even BFC or India. But I think there are some very good players there, like their midfielder Magona. What's his name? Um, he's been scoring. He even scored two goals against. He even scored two goals in the recent game. And Chennai, like, we are creating chances, but we're just not scoring. I mean, if it's like we're going up to the final third, we're doing everything right, but final third something happens to them. I mean, like, at least for a player like Chante, I mean, like, we all know, like, towards the back end of last season how good he was scoring after struggling in the first part. But here, like, it's not even like one you have a half chance or one chance. These are open chances, one-on-one. As a professional footballer, as an international player, you're supposed to you're supposed to take them chances, and when you don't take them chances, you're gonna come unstuck. And against FC Goa, thankfully we weren't punished because we somehow scored the second goal, and we somehow rode it out, and we won 2-1, and we're now 6 games with 8 points. We have like 2 games in hand, so good chance for us to catch up with the top half of the table.
Yes, definitely. As you mentioned, like there's definitely been like a lack of consistency. You all are playing well. You all have won a couple of games as opposed to East Bengal. But I think what you all would like is some consistency. Yeah. So, can you talk to me about the refereeing of the game? Are you happy with the way it's been, playing out so far in the ISL?
I mean, even in the last game against Goa, like, there were not many decisions to be critical of, but there was one decision against Regan Singh. I mean, his hand was like, so I'll just give you his hand was this. About this is his hand. His hand went like this, and like the ball struck his hand. That's obviously a handball, but the referee gave a yellow card for that. With your hands are close to your body, but it just moved this side, and now he's gonna miss the next game. And I think Edwin Senior play in his position, but it's been some decisions they've got it right, but some decisions they're very inconsistent. Like yesterday, Jamshedpur against AFC Goa, Goa will consider as 2 points stolen. I mean,
Yeah.
with all due respect, you cannot call it their fault because Jamshedpur were like, they had a clear goal that crossed the line, they got disallowed, and Goa then go on to score in a corner in the last minute. I mean, how cruel
Yeah.
can that be? And
Yes. It's
and
been, yeah. A lot of the fans have been complaining, not just from you from your club, but different clubs around the
Yeah,
ISL have been complaining about the quality of the refereeing. So, let's move on talking about the transfer, the winter transfer window that should soon open up. And how are you looking at it? Do you expect any new signings to be made? Anybody going out from the club?
I don't think so. But if like there's, I've heard some people saying we should maybe get in one more foreigner, but a foreigner quota is exhausted. Only if you
Mm.
let go of someone, you can bring in another. So I don't see anyone signing. And apart from, like, I saw a post by Marcus Malgoha, one of the uh, journalists, and he was saying like 7 players out of the way from East Bengal. Like, imagine, like, you've come in so late to the ISL, and now you're shipping out 7 players. I mean, it's pretty hard for a team like them. It's gonna
Yeah.
be hard for Robbie Fowler also. He's also come in like
Yes.
pretty late. He's trying to set up things, and as much as we all banter them for not winning and whatnot, but you gotta like feel for me. You not like
Yes.
he's even all you he's not coming early. He's coming pretty late. East Bengal, they joined very late. After
Yes.
that, only
Yes.
they signed most of their players. And then, like, the
Yeah.
coaches come in late, and you
Yeah. He
obviously
also
not have your
mentioned.
time to set into things, and now you're letting go seven
Mm.
of 7 players.
Yes.
It's going to be pretty hard for them. And thank God there is no relegation, or else they could be looking at it. With all due respect, I am, but they could be looking down at that direction if there was relegation. So
Yeah. Yeah, as you mentioned, like Robbie Fowler, like letting go of those players seems a bit harsh, and they are in a tight spot at the moment. But he's also mentioned that the quality of the players wasn't up to his standards, and he didn't expect it to be like that. So in terms of the quality of players, he did have a bit of issues here and there. But again, as you said, we do need to give them time to set in,
I
and
mean, like, even coming to them players, I want to say one thing. They were like players who were not performing great. Because if you see, like, players like JJ or Vineet or Balwant, they were not performing great in their last clubs. I mean, JJ, he had a bad season. 2018-19 scored only 1 goal, and the next season was fully out injured. And even CK Vineet, he wasn't in like a top striking form. And you look at a player like Mohammad Rafiq. I mean, these are players who have had good pasts, but not there. But currently, they're not in great
not
form.
playing well.
But, like, that's the another unfortunate thing of East Bengal joining late. They could not sign like the best of Indian
Yes.
players, and they essentially had to deal
Yeah.
was what was left over. So in that
Yeah.
spot, also, it's like harsh for them.
Mhm. So, quickly to ask you, are you content with the way your manager has been managing the games? Like, obviously, we spoke about it the last time you were on the show, and but there have been a couple of games since then. So, are you happy with it? And how do you see the way he's going to line up against East Bengal?
Um, I was unhappy with the way we played the Northeast game because we effectively had a mid three of Edwin German and Deepak Tangri. With all due respect, they're not going to create as much, are they? And, like, that
Okay.
game, we somehow battled to a 0-0 draw. I mean, you would
Mm.
take the point considering you lost the previous 2 games, but you still weren't content with it. Um, Against FC Goa, I was very happy that we were on the front foot. We were going with them toe to toe. They are after FC Goa, they let go many of their players. They still have many good players. You obviously
Yes.
have a Brandon, you have a Angulo, you have an Ortiz, and you
Mm.
have them good players. And we went toe to toe of them. We didn't like score 1 goal and just sit back. We went for the second, and we missed many chances, and we should have been out of sight in the first half or early parts in the second half. Thank God for Raim Ali scored, or else it would have been a completely different story. And
Yes.
that's a good thing because I don't mind going. Suppose saying if we were like 1-0 down, and obviously you
Mm-hmm.
have to chase the game,
Yeah.
instead of just playing towards defensively, I would rather go for the equalizer. And
Mm-hmm.
suppose they go on the other end and score 2-0, you can't do anything because you're chasing the game. You obviously have to throw men forward and whatnot, and you conceded the second goal, which happened. But I
Yeah.
don't. But losing, I prefer like fighting and losing. You are like give everything. And even in like the games we lost against BFC and Mumbai. BFC, I thought the performance was pretty flat. We didn't create much. Um, the thing is our attacking play revolves much around Rafael Crivelado. And
Yeah.
obviously, in the FC Goa game, having Anil Thapa behind him had an effect because Anil Thapa could like do the defensive work and Crivelado goes freely forward. That's why he
Yeah.
had an amazing game against FC Goa. But
Okay.
against but against Bengaluru, you don't have like an Anil Thapa behind him. Obviously, you had players, but Anil Thapa can go behind. He can go forward. He works his he works his part of 90 minutes. 90 minutes he keeps on running. He does not stop.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and even given in these humid conditions, running for 90 minutes is no joke. You're
True.
gonna get
True.
exhausted and whatnot. And Laszlo mentioned that Silvera was rested for the Mumbai game because he was tired, and not Mumbai game, Northeast game because he was tired.
Yeah.
And FC Go against FC Goa because he had the freedom to play around. I mean, like, effectively, Bengaluru FC they took out his game. They like man marked him, and I think Suresh Wangjam had an excellent game that day. He
Yeah.
pocketed Rafael Crivelado without as much as I don't like to say it as a rival fan, but he had a fantastic game and he pocketed Crivelado. I think like
Okay.
if you
Yeah.
kind of keep him quiet, that will take our attacking part from the game a lot pretty much. So
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
that's how I say
So,
it.
yeah, so there's obviously a bit of a gap between the spirit that you're talking about in terms of what the coach is also doing on the pitch and what you would like him to do. So, I hope in the upcoming matches that gets sorted out for y'all and y'all do
Yeah,
end up
and he's
doing
also
well.
like a new coach, and he's getting
Yeah,
the he's getting to terms with the
settled
ISL
in.
and whatnot. And
Yes,
it's
as we
and
mentioned.
we
Yeah.
have two extra games this season because of new team coming in. So I think that would be an added advantage. So
Hmm. Yeah, as we just mentioned, even with Robbie Fowler, the whole thing of the coach is setting it, and
yeah.
obviously with the COVID situation, and things have been new for the players, and the teams have been shuffled here and there. Okay, so coming back to the upcoming match, what are your predictions in terms of the scoreline and who will be scoring?
I think it will be a pretty high scoring one.
Okay,
I can probably I am as much as I want to win. I think like I'll probably go for a 2-2 draw, maybe.
to draw.
Yeah.
Okay, and who are the two who will score those goals for you?
Um, I predict Anilo Thapa to get one, and hoping Isma is fit. Um or I think Changte is like due for a goal. I really want Changte to score, so I think he finally break his duck. I think Thapa and Changte will score.
Hmm. Okay, so those are your predictions. I wish you all the very best, for your club. And as a neutral fan, it's going to be fun to watch. So, all the very best and festive greetings to you as well. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, and before going, I'll just say one thing: Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. All of you, stay
Yes,
safe. We are in the hardest of times now. Things have not been easy for anyone, so stay home, stay safe. Um, have a good Boxing Day of sport, everyone, because we obviously have India, Australia, we have Premier League, we have ISL, we have. I mean, even
we
though
have a lot
there's
of,
we are not going
yes,
out, we have some things to keep us occupied. So in that way, we are very blessed to see them. So stay safe. Merry Christmas to everyone.
yes. Merry Christmas to you too, Prasanna. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so that was Prasanna from Chennai's fan base talking about the match versus East Bengal. You can catch it on Boxing Day on your screens. It's going to be an interesting one, so stay tuned to that. Now, moving on, we're going to have the question of the week. The person who puts in the correct answer first into the chat box, either on YouTube or Facebook Live, wherever you're watching, you will be getting a superb gift from us at the Fanspire. So I'll be reading out a question and you need to put in your answer. Are you ready? So the question is, which was the last club to win the PL before City and Liverpool? Which was the last club to win the Premier League before City and Liverpool? That's the question, guys. Come on, put in your answers into the chat box, and the first person to give the right answer is going to get an amazing prize from Chups and Bounce India. Shout out to them as well. All right, so moving on. We talk a lot about football banter, football rivalries, the derbies. It's so intense, especially in the Premier League. And we have a very exciting London derby coming up right on Boxing Day. And it's going to be so exciting because we have Chelsea versus Arsenal. Now, if you're a Chelsea fan, you're obviously going to have a lot to say to the Arsenal fans, but the Arsenal fans currently seem in a sad state. So it's going to be interesting to see what both panelists have to tell each other. So let's get them on. Yes, hi Joshua. Hi
Hello,
Vineet.
hi, good evening. So,
Good
and
Good
Merry
evening.
evening,
Christmas
guys.
to you and our audience watching it,
Yes, so
and
very Merry
obviously
Christmas,
Joshua.
festive greetings.
Yes, Merry Christmas, but yeah, I
Joshua,
can
is it going to
understand
be
what
a
you're
Merry
going through.
Christmas?
It is a Merry Christmas, but not for Arsenal fans.
Yeah, so why after that loss to recently to Man City 4-1 and the previous losses, how are you feeling? And that's obviously not very happy to hear on Christmas Day. So
Yes,
tell us,
we've
how are you feeling?
been we've been at a lowest like amongst the whole history of our club. And the Man City game, I was expecting something like to go ahead because we've been good in cup games. I did like the motivation of Arsenal players going ahead, playing more attacking. I think that was because we had Gabriel Martinelli, who's been someone we always require, but he's been injured and he's just come back from injuries. So I think it's some sort of a positive start there, but looking at the PL table, I don't know. It's
Okay, and
really
moving on to
depressing.
you. That's, I know, yeah, it's quite a sad week for you all as Arsenal fans. But moving on to you, Vinny. Chelsea, I don't think you can say they have been consistent with their performances. Do you agree or do you disagree with that statement?
So I guess they had been consistent with 17 games unbeaten. Obviously, they had a bump in the road with two back-to-back losses. But the win
Hmm.
against West Ham, like not the best of performances, but I think that is what defines a good team that you somehow get the wins because you see the Liverpools, you see the Cities, they grind out those victories. The 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 victories, they grind it out. And to obviously go and win in the London Derby at home after two consecutive losses, I guess it was good. And I think we will be back on track.
Okay. So, the last match, Tammy Abraham scored for you. What do you think about him as a player? Do you think he's overrated, or there has
Not
been
at
a
all.
bit of a
Not at all. I
like
actually think
frank opinions flying around? So, what are your thoughts about him?
I actually think he's the most underrated striker currently because if you
Okay.
see his stats, they are very good. Like even if he's not scoring, he's getting involved in the game. He's providing assists, and whenever the team has needed him, he has come up with it. You can see the West Ham game as well. So I think he's highly underrated. Yes, you can criticize him that he doesn't anticipate the passes, hit the runs. Yes, but I think he's still learning. He's still young. He's still growing into the team. So I think he is a player who
Okay.
is highly underrated.
Okay. All right. So, since we're talking about your squad, let's talk about the signings that were made. There was so much, there was a lot of buzz around your signings, the Chelsea signing, Werner, Harvard. What's happened to them? I mean, they haven't been what people have expected them to be.
Havertz, you can say yes, he hasn't lived up to the mark of even the Chelsea fans. But
Mhm.
to remember that he's still a young player who came from, since his childhood, he has been with only one club, Bayer Leverkusen. And to come at an early age, that also one of the best leagues in the world, Premier League, it was never going to be easy. I'm pretty sure he can pick up because
Chelsea's history with discarding young players has been very bad. If you take the examples of De Bruyne or even Mohamed Salah, so I think so we can definitely stick with him because it's not only us, the fans, who are saying he's a brilliant player just because he signed him. It's the pundits, it's the German FA, everyone is highly rating him. So obviously there must be a reason. But
They
obviously
call him.
Warner, yes, yes, Josh.
They do call him the replacement for Mesut Ozil. I guess that is what tag
I don't
he's
think so.
given.
I don't think so. He's like a Ozil player because no offense to Ozil, he's a brilliant playmaker, but Havertz still has more work rate than Ozil has. Plus, more goals involved in Havertz compared to Ozil. Assist wise, you can say Ozil is slightly better, but yeah,
And what about Werner? He's still like missing those simple goals. Joshua, would you like to say anything to Vinith about his signings and players?
Timo Werner, I don't know. It's like I would go ahead and tell Vinny like it's the Premier League. It takes time to settle down. It's not that
thank you so
easy.
much.
Yeah, that's that
Coming
that.
from No,
One
but
striker
it
I
is
would
true.
like.
It is true because he did score many goals. He did score. And if you see his stats, he has what some 14, 15 goals plus assist in the same number of games, almost the same number of games. So he's not a flop, just in a bad patch currently, which I guess every player goes through. So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
I
So
won't be
talking
surprised if he scores against Arsenal.
I think Giroud would score against Arsenal, so I'm really like thinking over that. I
You
don't
all have a bad history with past players scoring against
past players. Yes, exactly. So I am having a dirty feeling that Giroud is going to be the one who's going to take away the show at the Emirates.
if
Let's see.
if he does score, do you think he'll celebrate?
Yes, he will because I think in the Europa League finals he scored against us and he did celebrate that goal. So I think he's done with Arsenal and
Thank
he's
you, Arsenal.
yeah. Don't worry, he's leaving soon.
Okay. All right. So moving on to you, Joshua, in terms, we're talking about squads again. So, the upcoming transfer window is going to open again. And do you think a signing could be Arsenal's saving grace?
Yes, I think it will be because if you go to see that, like United also were in a lower area and then they signed Bruno and now see where they are. So I think we would require a signing somewhat like a cam, like an attacking someone who takes the ball forward and goes ahead. I think we are in going to be it's going to be a very big opportunity this winter transfer window, unless the board says no, you have no money. So that depends on them.
But I
But I
think
think
Yeah.
Arteta came out and said that we already have a plan in place
I don't
for
know,
the
but
January.
if he does, it's going to be such a relief waiting for that to happen. Like someone being like jokes apart, but why would you want to keep Mesut Ozil out of the squad? He's been crucial. We need someone like him to be playing for us day in and day out, and he's not even in the squad. So it's really sad, like what's happening.
Yeah, I agree. Like about Ozil, keeping Ozil out of the squad does get that, kind of, it degrades the team a bit because there's obviously creativity lacking, as you had mentioned last time. And so let's, you said Arteta may have a plan, but there have been jokes going around that Arteta may not be there to execute the plan. Do you think he may be getting sacked soon?
I am telling you, he's not going to get sacked. He won't. I have read reports where they say that Arteta is being backed by the board and they might not sack him till at least till the transfer window ends. Like let him see, give him few games, and maybe if he's still in the relegation zone, maybe then sack him. So I think he'll be there for a few
But won't it
months
be
more.
already too late if you're in the relegation zone even after making the signings?
It's the Premier League. It's the Premier League. It's never too late. Aston Villa, I think at the end moment they just like missed the relegation last season. So I don't know. I don't think we will get relegated. So let's hope for the best.
Yeah, because PSG's coach was just sacked. Talking, since we're talking about sacking coaches, he was just sacked, and uh, Pochettino is supposed to be the It's rumored
He's
to be
replacement.
the
He's
replacement.
supposed to be the
Yeah. So
replacement. So
let's see how
I,
that goes.
I don't think he will get sacked. Let's see. I don't know.
Yeah, here Arsenal fans can just hope and pray this Christmas season, I guess. So
Yeah.
Moving on to you, Vineet. Let's talk about if Chelsea can actually retain their form. You did mention that they have been consistent, but they did drop their performances a bit. Do you think they can continue this run until the end of the season?
So obviously, if you go to see till the end of the season, is still a long way out. Like we are still only 14 games in, so I guess but going till January, which is one of the busiest times in the Premier League, if we build up momentum from here, we have some tough fixtures coming in. Obviously, City on the 2nd of January, which is not going to be easy. But I guess if we get through this with really good performances, then yes, I think so. We can be very, just I'm not going to say ki we can win the title, but definitely we can come close to what Liverpool and City have been doing in the past.
Vinith, I
Okay.
had a question for you. Uh, so I would want
Yeah,
to ask you how good is Zuma in the air? Kurt Zuma.
I think so. He can fly wherever he wants. He can fly wherever he wants. I
Because
guess the
most of
only
your
time I
goals
saw
are like many of
headers,
your goals are from
exactly.
set pieces, headers, and Kurt Zuma has been on top of it every time. So he's going
And
to
I
be
guess
quite a
credit
threat.
to the coaching staff, obviously the players as well, because that this didn't happen last season. The other way around, you were conceding too many from set pieces, and we reduced that. Plus, now we obviously are scoring from set pieces, which is a big added bonus. Because if the game is not going with you and you get a set piece and you convert those, it's a big bonus. So I think Zuma and Thiago Silva, obviously against West Ham, the way he scored, I think it's super.
Mhm. How important has Thiago Silva been for you all, though? I mean,
Very.
he is a really great player. He's come from PSG, of course, and
So
how
I don't
influential
think so.
has
He
he
had anything to prove. Like he didn't have anything to prove because he already did when he was with the national team of Brazil, even at PSG. Surprisingly, they let him go. That also, like the way you say, United were lucky to have Cavani for free. We were lucky to have Thiago Silva for free because I guess the last season we lacked the leaders because all of our players were young coming in, and this time Thiago Silva getting his experience, and you can just see the number of goals which you have considered has reduced drastically, which is superb and obviously contributing to the goals as well. So he has been amazing.
or maybe Kepa is not in the goal anymore. That's why all haven't conceded.
If you go to see, yes, well, like one of the reasons is that. But if you see, even the shots taken at Mendy have been less. Like either they have been blocked or intercepted before only. Yes, unless
Yeah,
you consider
it is
obviously the
very
United match where Mendy just stood out and was our best player. But I think so. The number of shots he has faced is slightly lesser than what Kepa did last season. But obviously, I would prefer Mendy. No offense to
But
Kepa again.
aren't all? I think you all are having a lot of injuries at the back right now. I think Reece James is out for the game. Ben
James and Chilwell
Chilwell
both are out.
is out of the game. So
Both are out. So obviously it's a worrying going forward. But I think defensively, Aspilicueta and Emerson can cover up. I think so. So we can just hope for the best. We have not been lucky with the injuries.
yeah. Okay, so obviously this is a London derby and there is a lot of rivalry. We spoke last time, Joshua, about versus Tottenham. So how are your feelings against Chelsea? Is it more intensified or is it on a more
So,
like normal?
to be honest, my first match which I ever actually like properly watched of Arsenal was against Chelsea at I think the Emirates or Stamford, I don't remember, but we destroyed Chelsea 3-0 there. It was
I
scored
think it
by
was Emirates. The one I
Emirates,
guess
yeah.
you're speaking about, the Ozil one.
The Ozil, no, it was Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, and Walcott on the score sheet that
I
day.
think it was the Emirates, yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I think that was the season that Chelsea, after our game, changed the formation to a back three, and then they went to lift on the title. Yes, I think that was the game after that. So
Yes.
I have a special thing for Chelsea Arsenal, especially even at home. I have my brother who's a Chelsea fan, so there's going to be a lot of like most of my family also support Chelsea. So I'm just the odd man out. So
So why did
it's
you
gonna be
yeah, exactly why did you start supporting Arsenal? You know it's
I
good to be a Chelsea fan. You know it's good to be a Chelsea fan.
I would say, but no. I mean Arsenal was something that attracted me, so I'm going to stick to Arsenal like till the end of time.
But don't forget, even we beat you 6-0 once. So
When
like
when
before, I guess it was 2014, 15, or before, or just after that, I think. So I guess the
I
score was
don't
6-0. That is our biggest win against Arsenal. And
I don't remember
yeah,
that. I don't.
have you all
Sure, sure.
I
scored
can't
Maybe it
six
was.
remember.
goals? Have you all scored 6 goals from open play this season?
For this season, all our games combined, we don't. I no, we have 11, but like, it's not. That's
Yeah, the top
quite
scorer
some.
of the Premier League has more goals than y'all as a team.
Honestly, I don't know. Arteta has been helping us at the back. It's okay, that is happening, but going
But
forward,
that's
we've
also
been
not
lacking.
happening. That's also
I wouldn't
not
say we
happening.
like every game we would be consider like conceding at least 4-5-0. I think like losing 1-0 to some team is not that of a headache, but still it's a loss. So I mean, he's done defensively. He's made it more like we are defensive, but our attack is having a problem due to that. So we lose there.
Yeah, maybe you can just talk about y'all being invincibles again, because I think that's the
That's
only
all
good
they
thing.
can do for the past 10,
Yeah,
15.
literally. All
See,
they can
guys,
talk.
Okay, now
your
you can take
clubs.
the FA Cup. Okay, now you can have the FA
No,
Cup.
no,
Okay.
your clubs have never achieved that, so it's okay. I know it hurts you all. It's something that
It
we
doesn't.
achieved. Only it does.
I would have a trophy every season than have it, once in 20, 30
But
years.
do you all have it every season?
We, like you said, we had what 3 years ago. We are still in transition. We had change of managers. So you have
Exactly. We had
been
a change of manager after 21 years. So it
even at
still takes
Wenger, you
time
all
for
were
it.
struggling. Even Wenger's last few seasons, you all were
Yeah,
struggling.
last few seasons we did struggle. That's why we needed a change because Wenger, like a lot of respect to him for getting us that invincibles.
Do you
But
think
I
it's the
still think
club itself? I don't think so. It's the manager at all.
it's not
I
the
think
managers for sure. It's not the managers. I can I don't know. I can't guarantee that, but I'm sure it's not the managers. It's the whole hierarchy of the whole
for Joshua, I
Arsenal. So
really hope that Arsenal continues the way they are because it is
no
really
way, no
helping
way.
AFTV and it is helping me to cope with the lockdown that I can watch AFTV day in, day out.
Oh, AFC TV is I don't know. They are like insane. Like they always go like, "What is this? What is?" They just start screaming for no
Exactly.
reason.
So I think you should continue the way you have been.
No. I think Arteta will turn this around and might be at least in the top half of the Premier League table. So let's hope for that.
Top
Let's see the
half.
all. Yes,
Y'all have
top
four
half.
points from relegation.
How many points is the top half? Have you seen this thing
Yeah,
right
but
now?
then
It's
have you?
see at the
It's
moment
a
the Premier League.
downward graph. It's going
So
downward.
wait, that takes time to go up also. See, you fall before you rise. They say,
That
Sure, sure.
let's
have you
see.
been
Trying to
saying
quote.
that for the past 10 years?
No, no,
Again,
no,
have
no,
you been saying
no.
that for the past 10 years?
No. It's I mean just now, like it's I don't know, but I think we'll turn around this season soon.
So
Let's hope for.
Let's
maybe
see.
it was just 2020, the year.
That's how Liverpool won the title. So,
You see,
the year 2020.
Liverpool won because they actually played well and they're still on top of the table. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll just remind you that you are very close to relegation. As an Arsenal
If we
fan,
get
don't get too
relegated, you can call
excited.
me, but no,
Don't get too
like we are not.
excited.
We
Don't
won't
get too
get
excited.
relegated.
You were invincibles once upon a time. Once upon a time. It's
You all are
done.
champions once upon a time. Regain that, okay?
Okay. Listen, all right. So let's move on and talk about the match that's going to be happening. Vineet, give us your predictions for the match and who do you think is going to be scoring?
So I think it's going to be a very close match because if you see at the recent history of Chelsea and Arsenal, especially the FA Cup as well, Chelsea have been in good form and still they went on to lose. But I think this season Arsenal is something different. So maybe a 2-1 win for Chelsea. And I strongly believe that Giroud and Werner both may score.
Okay. And Joshua, what about you?
I'm going to say 2-2 draw.
Okay.
Are you sure
A
he'll score
2-2.
2 goals? Are you
I
sure?
think we will. I think we will. It's going to be Abba
Is
and Gabriel
Aubameyang going to
Martinelli.
be fit? Is
Not
Aubameyang
not
going to
yet
be
sure.
fit?
Not yet sure. Not yet sure. He's a doubt. So I think
Even
Gabriel Martinelli.
Martinelli,
No, no, he's fit. He's
but
fit. He said he's
he
okay.
did
So
announce it on his own. But
he will start. I think he
yeah,
will play and he will score. Remember the last goal he scored against Chelsea? Kante slipping all
that
over.
was still a lucky goal. But if you remember what happened after that,
It was a draw.
so
The game.
so later on, then if we're Tammy at the end with the Drogba
No,
celebration, that's all you need.
that was the previous
I
one.
know it, but still, if you see what 1 win in so many games, so I mean,
Let's see,
obviously the
man.
FA Cup, barring the FA Cup, okay. I think over there also you all were just lucky because
Dude,
Anthony Taylor,
I don't, no, no, we are not lucky. See, I know you see that from different
Anthony
angles
Taylor
that he
dropped
was
a
outside.
disaster class that day. He dropped a disaster class. Like the worst refereeing I had seen, other than obviously the Champions League game against Barcelona, but it was really, really bad.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it was okay. It's just the perspective of like the Chelsea fans not with like getting to win it. So
Yeah, fine. Okay, you all won it. You all won the Community Shield. Now we'll get relegated. Yeah.
sure, now let me know when they get relegated. Okay, I'm still here.
I actually don't think so. You all will get relegated, but even top half now seems difficult for you.
See, top half, yeah, maybe, but I don't think we will get relegated because I think these top clubs always they somehow manage to get like not get relegated. Off. I think Arsenal are the only team that have
Because the top
haven't been
clubs,
relegated.
Joshua, because the top clubs compete for Champions League, not the relegation zone or finishing in the top half.
I
You all have a
I have
different
nothing to
fight
say.
currently going on.
Let's see after January if it's still the same, then I'm not going to say anything. Like let it go.
Yeah.
It'll be tough finding Arsenal fans, Vineet, after January. They'll
No, no,
probably
I
just be
will still be
happy.
here. I will still be here. I will support them even if they are in the championship.
They may just turn their fortunes for a while, maybe for this season's end, because you can see obviously Bruno
But
changing like he specified. But
we do suffer a lot in December. But we will started suffering. The suffering started from like October, November this year. So
yeah, September was pretty good because of the easy fixtures. But I think so. Other
United
than
won it.
that,
Easy fixtures. Okay.
that time, yeah.
So obviously there's going to be a lot to look forward to. And quickly, okay, I need both of you all to describe your opposition club. Like obviously, Vineet, describe Arsenal in 3 words.
Ah.
Ah, I guess I can just give you 2 words, like not predictable. They're definitely not predictable, especially when they face Chelsea.
Okay. And Joshua, any 2 words you could say about Chelsea or 3 words? Choose.
I don't know. Chelsea, a rich. I mean, youth club. I would say. Like they have a good youth, no, like good youth players. So I would say a youth club.
I wanted to continue about the rich part. I really wanted to continue.
I know it's okay. Youth club. That's what
I,
I would say.
I don't understand why are Arsenal fans always bringing in the money. I mean, we are
We
lucky
don't
that
have money.
we have an owner like Abramovich who is ready to invest in the club, and unlike your owners, obviously. But
True.
so I don't think so. How that is a problem for us.
It's not a problem. I'm just saying, like, I'll spend way too
But
much
yeah,
on
youth, I
players.
agree.
Yeah, I all do have
One of
good
the
youth.
best
So
academies. One of the best academies.
Okay, so let's end this discussion on this note. Obviously, it was amazing having both of you all. There was so much football banter. Uh, Obviously, all the best to both of your clubs.
Thank you.
As a neutral fan, it's going to be exciting for
Christmas
me to
miracle.
watch. Arsenal fans are going to be praying for this Christmas miracle this year. So, wishing you all the best and obviously Merry Christmas and season's greetings to
Merry
both of
Christmas
you.
to you
Merry
as well.
Christmas, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yes, so as we said, that was the London Derby that we just spoke about. Lots of things to look forward to. It's going to be exciting, and it's on Boxing Day again. So we've wound up with our discussions for today, and let's move on to giving you the answer and the winner of Question of the Week. So the question was, which was the last club to win the Premier League before City and Liverpool? And the winner of the Question of the Week is, let's have it on our screen, who got the correct answer of um, the question. So the answer to the question is Chelsea because they won the league in 2016 and 17. Um, yes, that's the correct answer. And it's going to be interesting seeing that Chelsea are going back into playing on Boxing Day, and can they win the league again? Would be a question, but there's time for that, obviously. So, moving on, do we have any questions for our fan panelists today? I think Joshua and Vineet covered up almost all aspects of this derby, the rivalry, and the upcoming match. So that's it for the show, guys. Thank you so much on for being with us on this journey through 2020. As I mentioned, it's the last episode of the year, but don't worry, we're going to be back with more episodes in 2021 because there are obviously a lot of interesting football matches coming up. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share it with all of your friends, your football friends especially. You can have a little banter with them. So stay safe and a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you fans out there. A big shout out to Chups and Bounce. Thank you guys so much. A big shout out to the Fanspire team. You guys have been doing a great job, and the show wouldn't happen without you. So, thank you very much. And we'll see you in the new year with lots of new content, lots of new football banter. Till then, don't forget to follow us on our social media pages on Instagram and Facebook. There's a lot of football banter happening around there as well. There's memes, there's football match updates, so you don't want to miss it, of course. So follow us there and stay tuned, and we'll see you in the new year. This is Priyanka for the Football Fanspire. Thank you and good night.